Radio Berkshire.
Berkshire News.
Berkshire Stories.
BBC Radio Berkshire.
Berkshire News.
Berkshire Stories.
And the home of the Andrew Peake Show.
BBC Radio Berkshire.
And that's this. Hello, welcome along. It's Wednesday morning. Vernon Harwood in for Andrew. Now, a baby bank to help struggling new parents has been opened in Windsor, with local midwives saying that the service is crucial. Like a food bank, new mums and dads can receive free emergency starter kits, which include all sorts of things like nappies and bedding and baby clothes. It's been started to help families who are in extreme need, whether through poverty, homelessness, or domestic abuse. And despite being seen as an affluent town, community midwives say there is a definite need for families in Windsor. Amy Tisi is behind the project.
What we're hoping to give out to people in real dire need is a Moses basket with the essential baby grows, vests, nappies, wipes, cotton wool, all those things that really are crucial that you desperately need when you have a brand new baby.
And is there a real need for it? You say people who are in dire straits. Are there many of those in the area?
Well, Windsor, no doubt, it's an affluent area, but where there are pockets of need, of poverty, it is quite an acute need. But we're also looking at people in other situations, people who've been perhaps flooded out or victims of fire, even children in emergency foster placements who perhaps there's not funding to give them clothes when they arrive with nothing.
Well, let's get the view of a community midwife in Windsor. Carole Costa joins us now on BBC Radio Berkshire. Morning.
Hello.
What do you make of this baby bank idea?
I think it's brilliant. I was contacted a couple of weeks ago about it and really thought it was a very, very good idea.
For people who really are in desperate need, isn't help already there, though?
There is, but you can get into this little trap where if you lose your job or you need to start claiming benefits, there's a lag in the time that you receive your money. And when we do see people that are in dire need, it's usually because they're in that lag time, and that can be up to about 6 weeks. I've seen people waiting for benefits to come through up to 6 weeks. And, if you've got a new baby coming along...
Well, when a baby needs a nappy, it needs a nappy now, not in 6
weeks'
time. So what sort of help and input can you give then, Carole?
Well, because we see the women through their pregnancy and we go and see them in their homes, we are probably the first point of contact, and so we are able then to offer help. We do get asked questions about more things than just maternity care. We get asked about housing, benefits that are available to women, and because we are there as that first point of contact, then we can make a referral now, which is great. We've got something that we can refer to.
And what are the things, nappies are pretty basic standard, I suppose, really, but what are the things do you think that might not be first on the top of our heads, really, in terms of the need for a baby and the parents particularly? What could be on the list that isn't?
Just the basic things like a little crib or a Moses basket for a baby to sleep in, although, it can be very, very basic. As long as you've got a nice new mattress that's safe and the baby's not going to overheat, you can use the basics of things. But it's nice for these babies to feel like they're valued, and to have somebody that cares enough to give them this little starter kit, I think is just lovely. It's a real community-minded contribution to the area that we live in. I think it's really good.
What's quite refreshing is that often when there is a need, particularly when it's to do with people who are suffering homelessness or domestic violence or poverty, the natural reaction is to throw money at the problem. And the interesting thing is, this isn't doing that, and actually it seems to be paying dividends.
And people have, if they've had babies themselves, there's an abundance of items that are used for very, very limited amounts of time. And people are just wonderfully generous, and they just want to, that it's something they can do. Someone who doesn't have a lot of money can pass on their baby equipment, and it's not a financial burden on them. So it's something that anyone that's had a baby and has clothing or Moses baskets or any kind of baby equipment in their home, and they're finished with it, anyone can do that and pass it on. It's really, really good. It's an amazing idea. I just think it's fantastic.
Good to speak, Carole. Oh, incidentally, we're talking about jobs today. Did you always want to be a midwife when you were a kid?
I wanted to be a nurse when I was younger, but I was squeamish and I was always told I'd never make it.
Some would say perhaps midwifery isn't the career for someone who's squeamish, but I don't know. Thanks,
Got
Carole.
used to it. Bye now.
Carole de Costa there, who's a community midwife in Windsor.